right, Kevin, thank you very much. Inside the NBA presented by Kia comes your way moments from now. Highlights of all three games and what they all mean as far as the playoff picture is concerned.
Nothing.
And, no, they all mean something.
But they don't give you no finality.
Well, we have something. Also, the Clippers now 21-7 since the break, tied with the Spurs for the second best mark in the Western Conference. Shaq and a Fool. We got the best of Shaq and a Fool.
Funny.
Yeah, it is very, very funny. It's all on Inside coming up next. It is Inside the NBA. It is presented by Kia, and it comes to you live from Studio J in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. And because Charles requested it, here are the highlights of the Clippers and the Suns as the Clippers try to nail down at least the 3 spot in the Western Conference.
They're playing the right team.
With all the games being played on Wednesday night, because there are 14 games being played. Do we have the Western Conference standings that we can kind of take a look at as the Clippers jump into the 2 spot? San Antonio is 3. San Antonio would jump over them if they beat New Orleans tomorrow night, and they would win the Southwest and be the number 2 seed. But a lot of stuff can happen.
Can we?
And yes, what?
Is there any way the crew can, like, okay, discount New Orleans and Oklahoma City, because we know whoever wins, that's different. Can we do a one if San Antonio, Portland, Houston, and Memphis all win?
Don't you have all of that, Ernie?
I do, as a matter of fact.
How would that?
He's going to tell you right now.
Okay.
Let me tell you just a few things, because the NBA put a bunch of this out. Okay, so San Antonio be number 2 if the Spurs win or the Rockets and the Clippers lose. They'd be number 3 if the Spurs lose, the Clippers win, and the Rockets lose. They'd be number 5 if the Spurs lose, the Rockets win, and the Grizzlies lose. Number 6 if the Spurs lose, and the Rockets and the Grizzlies win. Seriously, who do you think will win tomorrow night when San Antonio plays at New Orleans? Huge game for both teams. Obviously.
I think it's the Spurs. They don't want to have to play, because I've said this from the beginning. I don't think any team in the West can win 3 straight series on the road. I just think the West is too loaded. So I think it's important for the Spurs to win, and that would guarantee them home court at least the first 2 rounds of playoffs. So I think it's really important.
And you know OKC is going to win at Minnesota, right, tomorrow night?
Yes.
And so New Orleans would have to win at home against San Antonio, and the Spurs with something to play for. And I don't know. I don't know if New Orleans is up to that challenge. What do you think?
I agree with Chuck. They're going to come out ready, but, the Spurs are going to, withstand all their runs, and they're going to do what Spurs do. They're going to execute down the stretch.
Ernie, that's
play hard.
Go ahead,
Chuck. Going to win. No,
I think that's Ernie. The notion that you can be the number 2 seed and have home court at least the first 2 rounds, compared to dropping all the way to 6 and have to play every series on the road, that is a really big deal.
Yeah, Spurs coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, they're coming out to get this one.
I agree. Would you like to hear any more scenarios?
Would you like to hear them in the East?
Oh, there's only one scenario in the East.
Well, we're going to do the East. All right, 2 things could be decided in the East on Thursday night. The Celtics would claim the number 7 spot with a win over the Raptors, or a Pacer loss to the Wizards, and that would give us our first postseason matchup, Boston and Cleveland. Meantime, for Indiana, the mission was clear. Win both remaining games over the Wizards and at Memphis, and they're in the playoffs. Lose them both, and they're out. Split those 2 games, and they would need Brooklyn to lose at home to the Magic on Wednesday night. Let's hit the highlights. Wizards, Pacers. Bulls lose to the Atlanta Hawks.
That's an easy scenario. I don't need Kenny clapping in the background.
And at the same time, the result of all that happened.
It did kind of look like Kenny.
It did look like Kenny.
Miami Heat officially eliminated.
Dude, but Miami Heat were officially eliminated months ago.
Now the only
That hurt me, man. You thought they could get the Eastern Conference.
Miami?
Yeah, that would have been nice. That's my dream city to go to.
Here's the question, now, and this is a legit question. Now, tomorrow night, if Brooklyn wins at home against the Magic, it means Indiana has to win at Memphis. Do you see that happening?
I do not, because Memphis has to win to get home court the first round, don't they?
It would help. They still need. I mean, they still need
someone to lose, but that would help.
Yes,
okay.
That would help. They still have a shot at being 5.
That would help.
And so you think Memphis? But Memphis is back.
They're not going to win.
They're banged up.
They are banged
They're
up.
not going to win at Memphis.
No.
Okay.
Memphis needs to win. Memphis just got blown out by 30 the other day by Golden
But they
State.
got a lot of injuries, but I think if they win that game, they
win.
will get home court. So I'm going with Memphis in that game.
So you think Indiana, even though they win tonight, will get knocked out tomorrow because there's no way Brooklyn loses to the Magic
Listen,
in their gym.
Brooklyn-
I don't know, man.
Although their
Come on,
last,
man.
their
Brooklyn-
last couple of
Vucevic.
games,
Let me tell you
Brooklyn been
something.
flat.
Let me tell you,
Vucevic.
Brooklyn has been playing. Not Brooklyn.
Orlando.
Orlando won't quit. They have been
won't.
playing. They've been competing. They got some good young players. They're building for the future. I mean, so I do think Brooklyn will win the game, though.
You know what I think is the guys who are working NBA TV tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 14-game night.
14
That is going to be a fun night for them to do that as they keep track on all the games and what they all mean. So we do have our first matchup that is set in stone. The Cleveland Cavaliers, the number 2 seed, will play host to the Boston Celtics, the number 7 seed. They split the season series, but keep in mind that those last 2 games won by the Celtics in a home-and-home last weekend came with Kyrie Irving not playing the first game, and then LeBron and Kyrie and Love didn't play the second time around. And our buddy John Schumann, you like analytics, Charles,
I
don't you?
just don't think they're the stupidest thing ever.
No, our buddy John Schumann from NBA.com points out that the Cavs plus-minus against Boston in the 4 regular season meetings, when LeBron is on the floor, they're plus 46. When LeBron is off the floor, they're minus 62. I have a feeling LeBron will be on the floor a lot against the Boston
you
Celtics.
think that's an important stat?
No, I was hoping they were going to put the monkey in your head again.
But the notion that they're a much better team with LeBron on the court.
But he's just showing you the numbers.
Okay.
Plus 46.
And let me ask you a
minus
question.
62.
In an analytic point of view, how does he do those numbers with all the rest of those teams did the last 2 games, my point? No, if you were Kennedy Plummer, you wouldn't have no woman look like that.
for Shaq and Kenny and Charles, Ernie Johnson. See you
know, I
Sunday when we tip off our playoff coverage.